Sitting on the park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intensity. Hey, Aquila, drying in the cold sun, watching as the pretty Peggy.
TaleSpin was a popular animated TV series from Disney in the early 90s. Some of the main characters were tweaked variations of characters from the famous animated Disney film The Jungle Book. The star is Baloo, who works as a cargo delivery pilot for a business that has conflicting interests of Shere Khan, who enlists in the help of air pirates. So as often is the case, Baloo, flying his trusted plane named the Sea Duck, gets into heated shootouts in the skies with the pirates. So since Capcom was essentially married to Disney, an NES shoot-'em-up of TaleSpin was a natural concept. Now, Capcom was responsible for 1942 and 1943, so you might expect TaleSpin to incorporate the overhead view, but I guess it would be a pretty dick move to essentially make a carbon copy of one of their older games, so they chose the side-scrolling route. You assume the controls of Baloo, flying from one destination to another delivering cargo, each assignment ordered by the bitchy Rebecca Cunningham. You fly around shooting down a bunch of weird enemies that they had to make up for the game since the show didn't really present many antagonists outside of pirates flying planes. So for the sake of variety, they throw in dogs in mine carts, alligators that carry spears, and floating top hats. The graphics are pretty nice, as expected from Capcom, although if you're looking for realism, you'd be unhappy to learn that the Sea Duck has been shrunk from a cargo plane to a biplane. How much cargo can you possibly carry on that damn thing? The soundtrack is okay. The bossa nova feel that generally is the central genre fits well, but it doesn't produce any standout songs, although the boss music is pretty good. So you fly through each level in auto-scroll fashion. B fires and A changes the direction you're flying and turns you upside down at the same time. It's pretty handy if you're trapped or if you want to grab some items that you missed, but it's a bit awkward to toggle your position and go back to firing. But what's even more awkward are the regular firing controls. Moving up or down will cause the plane to fly at an angle, and you'll be shooting in the diagonal position. So if you're trying to dodge something in front of you, you won't be able to get any shots in while you're changing direction because you'll be firing off diagonally. And then sometimes you'll want to be firing diagonally, but the only way to do it is to be moving, so you can't hold your position and fire. They should have just kept you firing straight ahead at all times. It worked with Defender, didn't it? Another thing that'll piss you off is the lack of firepower. You can only fire off one shot at a time. The rapid rate is slower than shit. Thankfully you can buy upgrades from Wildcat in the shop in between levels. One of these upgrades is the rapid shot, which increases the rapid rate, and then the super rapid shot, which increases it even more. You can also buy engine parts to increase speed, parts for the body which will add a hit point giving you 4, the mini Sea Duck which will give you a free extra life, and a continue memo which, gives you a continue. Wildcat's a shitty salesman though. When you select an item, he'll explain what each item is, since not all of them are self-explanatory, but then after the explanation, he'll automatically charge you for it if you have enough cash. You don't even get a yes or no option. That can really screw you over if you buy something you don't need or want. I recommend getting the rapid shot first. It's cheap for one thing, and it seems to be more noticeable of a difference. Then get the speed boost, as it's more effective to dodge multiple hits than to have an extra hit point to spare. Then get the armor, and then the super rapid shot. Buy the continue and extra lives whenever you have the extra cash. So how do you get the money to buy all this shit? Well, along the way you can steal, pick up random cargo scattered around, or bags of money. Some good guy Baloo is, you would think he was the air pirate. You can also nab fruit which will award you points. 10,000 points earns you an extra life, and hearts will increase your health, naturally. You start out with 3 lives and 3 continues. Although we really shouldn't be calling them lives. When you lose all your hit points, the plane explodes and Baloo parachutes out. So to preserve the Disney innocence, no one dies. But Baloo sure has a shitload of Sea Ducks. Each level also has a hidden bonus stage where you take control of Kit Cloud Kicker, Baloo's annoying little navigator, fly around on his metal dish thing and collect fruit hidden in balloons for bonus points. You also have a time limit, which is a bit odd because it auto-scrolls and you can't stop the screen by pinning yourself behind a cloud. The bonus stage ends in that situation. So you'll always make it to the end on time, and even after grabbing all the items, the bonus stage doesn't even end. You have to sit around with your thumb up your ass until the time ticks all the way down. Each level has a different hidden spot you're supposed to shoot at to activate the hidden warp to the bonus stage. We'll go over all of them. So the game starts up with a short intro where Rebecca explains that you have 8 different delivery assignments today and that there are air pirates intercepting cargo. Then each stage she'll give you a rundown of where you're supposed to go, in this case over the sea. Real specific on your directions, Rebecca. I always hated that bitch. So you'll fly around shooting some standard air pirates that wobble around, grab some cargo, and holy shit, it's Don Carnage! The main antagonist shows up 5 seconds into the fucking game. What a bold move. Well, you can't kill him, so don't bother trying. Just dodge his shots, which go off in spread shot formation, flip the plane, and fire into the spot to unlock the bonus stage. When you come back, Don Carnage will still be there, but he'll fly away once you get to the waterfall and start flying down. The enemies here are real easy. It's a good place to warm up your direction changing skills if you're inexperienced with the game. Now these pipes look like they're just a part of the background and you can fly right through them, but nope. So change your direction, grab the cargo without getting dragged behind the screen and killed. Soon enough, you'll meet up the boss, a submarine. Your target is the periscope. It spreads a bunch of bullets at you, which are slow enough for you to avoid, but the homing missiles are a bit tricky because they'll line up with you and zone in on you quickly. So make a quick move to get out of its way and fire at the periscope as rapidly as you possibly can. So buy your upgrades from Wildcat and Rebecca will give you your next assignment. The baseball stadium? And you're not flying to the baseball stadium, you're already there, so this must be one hell of a huge ass baseball stadium. And who flies through a baseball stadium during a game? The players are nowhere to be seen, but the crowd is all there. And so are these assholes. Stay low so you can take out these guys firing off baseballs through the pitching machines, coming up only once in a while to grab items. The bonus stage is right at the beginning. Just go to the right of the scoreboard here. Up here you'll witness the world's largest baseball inexplicably come crashing down and blow a huge hole in the ground. What the fuck? I guess they couldn't figure out any way to ward off the monotony of the level, so they just threw in an underground cave portion for no reason. Here you'll face off with conveniently placed mines. You can shoot them out of your way, but aside from contact damage, you'll also get hurt if they blow up near you. You'll be warned of this when they start flashing. Change your direction to keep yourself from getting killed by the walls, to grab hidden items, and as a means to avoid some of the mines. Not long after surfacing, you'll encounter the boss. The same giant baseball from earlier. But, oh wait, it's a baseball copter, how clever. It'll bounce from side to side and it bounces pretty high, so fly as high as you can when avoiding it. You can't do any damage to it in this state anyway. Once it changes form to the copter, you can hit it. Dodge its spread fire attack, fire rapidly, and then fly back up and across when it changes direction. Sometimes it'll change direction several times before going into attack mode, so don't be too hasty. Your next destination is in the clouds. Who the hell are you delivering this shit to, Zeus? Well, you want to stay away from the clouds because the enemies drop out of them, so most of the time you're going to want to stay in the middle. But you don't want to get caught behind the small clouds because even though clouds aren't supposed to be solid, these are. And they'll push you back into the dreaded death of not being on camera. The bonus stage is in a strange area. On the second mountain here, fly around the clouds and back up into this little nook and fire. Then you'll get into a minefield that fires off electrical currents through lightning. It'll fire in all 4 directions diagonally, so position yourself so you're in front of or below the mine. You can tell which one will fire when lightning strikes it. Contact with the mines themselves doesn't actually hurt you though. Soon you'll hit the boss, a tag team of air pirates. They have 2 different attacks, both of which will see them coming out of the clouds, and you won't know which side they'll line up on, so stay in the middle. In the first attack they'll conjoin and fire off a shot which will spread in 2 directions. Keep your distance and fire. The spread shot will always miss as long as you're far enough away. The second attack is tougher, but thankfully less frequent. They'll line up on each side and fire off 3 shots each in all directions. It's not easy to avoid since the gaps in each are covered by the other's shots. When you see this attack coming, fly down and to the right and get away from the right guy's shots. Then back up between the gap of the left guy's shots. You can't hit them when they're separated, which makes you wonder why they don't always attack this way. Oh well. Finish them off and move on to level 4, the obligatory haunted house.